Seeds of open plains, grasslands, missile silos.
When the ICBM force was being built, beginning in the 1950s, ICBM fields, you needed a lot of land in order to distribute these missiles. The heartland of America was an obvious place we were going to do this. We weren't going to do them in heavily populated areas.
A truck passes through a security gate at a missile launch center.
We were standing on ground zero of World War III. We were target number one for any Soviet first strike. They knew where we were. We had geographic coordinates. They knew exactly where we were. Their satellites circled the Earth, just like ours did theirs, their area.
Wall Drug billboard welcomes visitors. Swather cutting hay, cattle grazing.
People around Wall, the farmers and ranchers, we had seen the missiles being put in and the launch controls and everything. So we were aware from the get-go that we had nuclear missiles around Wall.
Minuteman missile in a silo, a dusty road, aerial view of a launch facility.
And we also talked about the fact that just because we were here in the middle of a lot of those missile sites, we probably were also a number one target for the enemy side, if there was one, of the risk of a missile coming in, doing a lot of destruction.
Missile sites, car on a road, Mount Rushmore.
People drove through the area unaware that in the fields and in the pastures adjacent to Interstate 90 on their way to the Black Hills and Mount Rushmore lay a nuclear arsenal of 150 intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Drive-by view of missile site. A paved road stretches into the horizon.
They started to improve the roads that they would require heavy weight on. So in some cases, you'd be in the middle of nowhere and there'd be a beautiful paved road.
Film footage of silo construction.
The missile program during the construction, it definitely brought business and revenue into the Wall area just by the magnitude of the construction. And I'm sure it helped our economy.
Workers weld the silos together.
It was a real boom for those of us in that area because these are extra jobs, they're high-paying jobs. We had a lot of people that would farm and ranch and work on the construction.
Construction work. Cement is poured, a bulldozer clears land.
Because of the missile sites and the electrical system that was put in place to service them, our area has been very blessed with having the capacity to expand and grow.
A worker uses a jackhammer. Construction continues on a missile silo hatch.
The boom town, if we're going to call it that, it happened in Rapid City. People that worked on those silos were mostly contractors and subcontractors.
Construction workers. President Truman gives a speech.
Nobody questioned what was going on. I mean, it was America. It's what you did as Americans. It's what you did as rural people who loved your country, and whatever president felt was the right thing to do for America, you supported that 100%.
Presidents Kennedy and Nixon signed documents. Missile site. Crop fields sway in a breeze. A fence surrounds the perimeter of a missile site.
Nobody wants to distrust our government. We just want to believe that they have our best in mind. One time I took a jar of soil from the missile site and I gave it to Congressman Cheney in Washington in his office and said, this is the land, this is the soil that should be growing things. But around the perimeter of the missile silo, they put herbicides on so that nothing grows. This isn't what we want. We want to be able to continue. I want to be able to pass on the ranch to my children and children's children.
Ranch windmill and water tank, cattle grazing.
I ran into a rancher up by Faith, and he said the presence of the missile sites nearby always gave me a level of comfort in that we were playing our part in protecting the United States.
An American flag waves over a launch control building. A military truck parks near the building. An analog clock ticks. Missileers turn keys, open a codebook, press buttons, flip switches.
Not many people know the power of these weapon systems, and it's not well known, and we live around them. We just drive by them and don't even think about them because that's what we do every day. The destructive power of the nuclear weapons, how could I not speak out once I learned that? Because I have children. And how could I not tell them that why are we spending your future money that could go for roads and schools and so many positive things that our country needs, and instead we're spending on these weapons that we hope to never use.
Sunset over the plains.